Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio NG. I bid you a warm welcome this beautiful afternoon from the city of Lagos State, and it promises to be a very interesting one at the bar today. We're going to be talking about quite a number of things today, from the presidency, replying the World Bank, and still quite a number of things. Then there's another Ponzi scheme that is conversation around. Two politicians now advocating for the release of Nnamdi Kanu and a lot of other things. So that and quite a number of things I'm going to be talking about today. There's also sports. There is a Nigerian team that was unfortunately thrashed. Thrashed is the word, because I think beat is a very nice word for it. Anyway, we're going to be talking about that and a few other things today at the bar. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show with us. And like I said, with us is because I'm not the only one on the show today. It is I and Sola Rogers.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. How you doing out there? Welcome to the Boom Bar.
Okay, so we're going straight into the gist today, and just wanted to put this out there. So for people that maybe might not know, a very prominent Nigerian has now been announced to have passed away. Christopher Kolade is someone that is really popular in the Nigerian space, and the man at 92, when you read his biography and the things that he's achieved, you know that the man really lived a very full, very, very full life.
Yeah, so when your mentor's mentor passes, you understand that he was a big man by all stands. And when I mean big, I mean professionally he was amazing and was an achiever, worked in different spheres of life, you know. But
yeah, I started his work as a broadcaster.
Yeah, you know, I remember how some people that I look up to in broadcasting would speak glowingly of Christopher Kolade, and sadly, you know, I'm sure everybody will die, but there's some that you feel different about when it happens. I think it's one of the few good guys out there. So, and I'm sure his family is going through it at the moment, losing a loved one. So, all our thoughts and prayers are with them.
With his family,
yeah.
Exactly, with his family. Now, so just wanted to put that out there. But now we're going straight into the gist. First gist is that apparently the World Bank had put out a statement. I think it was yesterday, and you know, I think the day before that they had put out a glowing comment about Nigeria's economy, and you know, and how it's looking like up and up, GDP, and you know, those funny numbers, which, you know, at the end of the day is not a bad thing. However, they released another report yesterday where they had talked about that even with the policies that seem to be looking good at the moment, that Nigeria, there's still about 139 Nigerians living in poverty. That's according to the World Bank. Funny enough, when I saw this, I was kind of taken aback, like, really? But I'm like, okay, they may have their own indices. Now the federal government has now described this figure as unrealistic and disconnected with the country's actual economic conditions.
Okay, is that all they said? Let's hear.
Yeah, pretty much. That that poverty statistics needs to be properly contextualized within the framework, and that you know, but that what they're really doing is a little far-fetched. Basically, that they do not agree.
Nobody would agree if someone tells you that you failed or you are failing. No human being, except someone who was actually planning to fail for whatever reasons. And hardly would you find a sane person in that category. So, the funny thing is, the same government, 24 hours before that, they were happy when the same World Bank said, 2026, Nigeria will be, you know, this and that. Something about our debt ratio reducing and blah, 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 right?
Yes.
So suddenly, they bring out another one and you don't like it. So how come? You understand? But the way I felt, I think it's the way you said you felt too. I felt that more of conjecture than facts. You get, because one, Nigeria's population is still contentious.
Yeah. So where did you get the numbers? If we don't have the proper, how did we arrive at 139
million? You get. So, excuse me, please. So please forgive me. I think I'm fine. Okay, so the thing is, if you're saying 139 million, how did you arrive at the figure? Was it a random sampling of how many? 10,000, 1,000, 100,000, 1 million people? Because you can do that. People do all those polls, and they now generalize and all of that. But I don't know how they arrived at 139 million. But one thing that I know for sure is that, things are really hard.
Yeah, I also think that, and this is not even holding brief for the federal government, I also feel that our concept of what we call poverty might be very, very, maybe a little skewed. Why I said so is there are a lot of people, even Nigeria, this is not even just World Bank, this is even Nigeria as a whole, and even agencies in Nigeria, how you hear how people are being tagged as unemployed. But they're basically not unemployed. They're in the informal sector.
True.
You will hear where, some people are categorized, but whatever it is that person is doing is feeding a whole family of 4 or 5 or 6.
Facts.
And you will now say that, that person is paying house rent, is sending children to school, but you now, in your own books, the person is unemployed. Yeah,
there's a whole lot of that we have, funny enough. So I don't know why this image came to my mind, but suya, the suya sellers, they only come out at night, and there's a suya seller in every street corner.
They only come out most places
at night. Please, we're talking generally. I beg, we're not talking of Ibadan. So.
Shout out to my Sabo people.
The reason why I brought that up is that they fall into that category of people that you do not classify as employed. But trust me, these guys are doing good, A lot of them. Have you been to University of Suya? There are like almost 30 men working there. What I try to say is that we look at basically blue collar, white collar jobs, and those are the ones that we capture, you get. But Nigeria's informal sector is very large. And there are a whole lot of people. There are a lot of creatives now out there. People who are earning money creatively.
And they're not leaving their house. But
there are a lot of people who don't leave their house, who work remotely. And there are a whole lot. And trust me, they're doing very well. You get, but there are also a lot of people who are not doing great.
Oh, yeah. That you cannot take that away.
Some of them, you're not going to say they are lazy. It's just the way... the economy has turned. Things, I'm not going to lie, life got hard when subsidy was removed. And it affected all of us. Almost all of us.
It affected most people. And why? It's not even that it made people... I don't even think that... So for some people, you say that, it made some people poor. But it made you rearrange some things. Because what you would use, maybe... fuel, for example, that you will use 10,000 naira, you are probably now buying the same amount of fuel for 40,000 naira. And the worst part is, especially if you're not in a formal sector, that there is money, because shout out to banks and a lot of other companies actually increased a lot of people's salaries in that term. But if you're not in a sector that that there's one money that is coming, it's still the same amount of money you're making, but there's a lot more bills to be paid. So yes, do I think that...
So what I finish what you're saying.
So do I think it really did get harder for most people, and that's it?
One of the reasons why things got hard is that the cost of transportation went up, but everybody just fixed prices arbitrarily
Yeah.
till today.
Yep.
Do you understand? We've gone to a point where I was wondering, like, I kept on asking people, that woman that was selling granules down the road at 600 naira suddenly started selling them at 2,500 naira. You know, she increased her prices like 2-3 times.
Four.
So I'm like, how now? Like, do you understand? Like, it's not commensurate with the. So again, you look at how people fix prices arbitrarily. I just use the granule seller as an example. You get the guy that was selling suya at 500 naira a stick.
It's not 1,000 naira.
And it's smaller.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Anyway,
You know, so basically, a lot of things have happened in the area where we think that there should be price control so that people can buy things. But again, their ability to earn has also been affected. So, to a large extent, I agree that there's a large number of Nigerians who are living below the poverty line, but I disagree with the numbers. It could even be more, and it could be less.
except we have like empirical formula for that.
Yeah.
And I think that we can't.
So, but the federal government that was happy that they said they are doing well the day before, the
Yeah,
same World Bank.
Same World Bank. Anyway, still talking about the federal government, but specifically the Ministry of Education. And in the past couple of weeks, they really have been in the news for good things, or would I say a lot of policy changes from that ministry that even got a lot of people talking like, okay, did we really have a Ministry of Education before? Now, because we saw a lot of changes in the primary education, that's primary school up until secondary school and even technical schools. Now it looks like it's the turn of the universities, where they're now saying the Tertiary Education Trust Fund. For people that know what TETFund is, that's what TETFund is. Now they're saying that all tertiary institutions have to submit reports of intervention funds that they were given. And they're saying that if you cannot, you have to substantiate what you're doing, and any funds that you were given that you did not utilize should be returned in the next 30 days. Now, the minister said that he made this known when there was, the ministry has been dealing with the issue of allocations, where there's been a lot of petition that these allocations have not been put to good use. So now, in the next 1 month, you have to show workings of what the TETFund has been doing with those monies. And if you do not use the money, it should be refunded immediately. They want to block some people's... This minister is
But how is it going to be possible?
That's people should return the money. No, he's saying that if you were given these allocations and you did not use them, so return it now. Is it hard? I don't think it should be hard, though. Why are you laughing?
Look, it's something that's never happened before.
Okay.
And some of those funds, I'm sure those guys, they see them as slush funds and
At this point,
as free money.
it's one thing to be able to say, oh, okay, return it. It's another thing to now put a date to it.
You go hard, oh.
He has put a date. He
1
said
month.
in the next 30 days, there has to be, everything has to be done and dusted.
It will not be funny at all.
But 1 month is okay now. In case you tried to
put your house in order.
Use 1 month is okay. If you said you built a lecture theater, let's say University of Lagos, I did not build it. 1 month is enough to look for how you will gather money and borrow money.
But wait, why am I even laughing now? What if there is no fraud that has happened? What if everybody has kept their records properly? And you know,
which is perfect. Let's be honest, it's a perfect thing. That would be perfect. That would be perfect.
Oh my God. You know, I don't know. Let me not say more than that. But there are times when people make pronouncement and you're like, really and truly, this should be the way it should be. It should be normal. It should be standard. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember early this year, we did a project, with someone. And it was disbursing. We were all putting money in the project. Oh yeah, Oga. We want to reclaim our funds from the people that we did this thing on their behalf. Can we have a breakdown? You say you are not doing breakdown. You are too big to break down. The bottom line is, I'm not alleging
I
that
will
he has.
enjoy you.
I'm not alleging that he has stole money. I'm just saying that we have a problem with proper record keeping.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
People will learn now. This is time the people should learn.
It's a good time to learn. It's a good time
You
to
will
learn.
learn. You will learn the hard way. What kind of nonsense is that? They gave you money. See, and you know, we ask for accountability from our leaders, but it's something that we always say to everything. It starts with us, because even if this crop of leaders leave, is it not out of us that the new states will go? If you are not accountable with little, how do you want to be accountable with Nigeria's money or a whole state's money? If common TETFund, you are not accountable for it. Yeah, and I hope that
TETFund is not common.
I hope that there's a lot the minister is going to for at least for there to be an announcement about it. Is they're going to follow it up, because they're going to follow this matter. If you don't have the money, return it. Well, for 30 days is enough. If you want to go and collect loan, go and collect loan.
You know,
ask your friends that you share the money with, they should borrow you to return it.
So on the matter of this TETFund refund that government is saying, if you got monies for projects in tertiary institutions, you didn't do it, or you did it and there's some money left over, bring it back and all of that. You see, it leads me to how at times our problem is not government. Our problem is governance and understanding governance. And you might say, what's this one saying? Let me break it down a little bit more. There is the Niger Delta Development Commission that was created when the agitations were really rife in the Niger Delta, that look, we're the region that produces Nigeria's wealth, or the bulk of it, and you guys are not taking care of us. So they created a Niger Delta Development Commission. What has happened to that commission is one of the worst things that could have happened to any group of people.
Yeah. Sadly, you're doing it by yourself.
That's why I'm going. You see, the funds that were pumped there, and
we're giving to people.
Have you not noticed that nobody is talking about that report?
Yeah.
And this is 2025.
Because I feel that the minute they open the can of worms from that place,
canker worms, man.
maybe the whole of at this point is we'll say that maybe the old Niger Delta maybe should be sold to the north, because
so
it's horrible. It's a horrible situation.
It's the same way there's TETFund, it's the same way there's this fund and that fund. Apparently there are a lot of things in place, just like that counterpart funding in education. You know, the SUBEB, there's a name for it now, you know. But what that fund is about is that the federal government says, this is 10 billion, for example. If you bring your own, I'll give you this so that you can develop. And for years, states did not activate that fund.
Not activate it now.
But they started doing it now. Do you understand? Some states have started activating it. So at times, it's the way people just don't go out of their way to get things done for the people, and that's why everybody's feeling the pinch, and that's why we keep focusing on the federal government.
Federal governments are a problem in this life. Federal governments are. And speaking of the federal government has now begged ASUU to shelve its proposed strike. So because ASUU is claiming that I think this is their 2009 or 2008 or 2009 conversation with the federal government, that this federal government is not answering them. However, the federal government from the ASUU is now saying that federal government's appeal is a little too late or something funny like that, meaning that they too, the new EXCO too, want to write it in their I'm sorry, I might be wrong, but that's where I see it. They too want to mark register that during our time too we did strike, because it's probably part of their manifestos every year. That's the way I see it.
Okay, we're getting to the era of strikes again. It's interesting, you know, when you actually thought that these guys will hit the streets, they did not. When you actually thought that during the height of that adjustment for Nigerians, the transition from a subsidized lifestyle to a hardship lifestyle without subsidy, there were no strikes, there was no real protest like that. And now that government claims that things are getting better, there's going to be strike. I just hope that the government can still, listen to them and do what they have to do.
Find something.
If any president had agreed to some things, the current president has to do it, because it's not that it was the person agreeing as himself. He was agreeing as the president of Nigeria. And you know how they say that governance is a continuum, like everything continues. You get so. Federal government, it might not be too late to forget the too late story that they're saying. Maybe you might be able to get them not to go on strike.
Get them not to go. Anyway, still talking about tertiary institutions. Now, members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities and Non-Academic Staff Union are now protesting at the University of Abuja main campus.
All right, what's this?
So they said the protest. Remember, they said they were going on a protest today, and it's part of a nationwide action that they had said. It said at the expiration of the 2-week ultimatum that they were going to protest and demanding for a lot of things. And they said there's a renegotiation of the 2009 agreement with the federal government. They want an immediate payment of 25 and 35% salary increment, and immediate payment of all withheld salaries. Okay. They too want money. That's because I don't want to sound like a broken record, but ASUU and SSANU and NASU, they really stress me out. They really do. Like, I am actually exhausted when I talk. I'm not saying they are wrong sometimes, but as a university student that experienced all this drama, ASUU going on strike, when SSANU even goes on strike alone, you really don't feel it like that, because a lot of them are either your professors, which they most rarely are not the ones that come to class.
She's basically saying that professors are always on strike. even when school is in session.
I didn't say that. Or your
because you don't see them.
Admin people, so they really don't affect your day-to-day life,
because they're not really doing anything. Is that what you're insinuating?
Let me finish.
You shall not finish.
But in fact, ASUU, when ASUU is on strike, at least you will be in school. It's class that you will not go.
ASUU.
I don't know about ASUU. Please don't stress me. But when NASU is on strike, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, I think that I remember, I think I was in 100 level or 200 level in UI then, when of course classes they are the ones that open the classes. They're your junior staff, so that your cleaners, I remember, I think when I got to 200 level, there was a NASU strike that now made UI. I think UI now privatized some of those things, at least cleaning and all that. So NASU go on strike or not to at least, which kind of makes sense.
So this story about NASU, which is the non-academic staff union, leads me to a video I saw last week, and somehow we missed it, or I was going to bring it up, and it has to do with the Ladoke Akitola University, which belongs to Oyo State government. Yes. The governor was there last week. Oh yeah. And during the meeting, a security guard in the place raised his hand and he spoke. And the guy spoke with passion. He cried. He had been there for many years, working the same job, earning the same salary. And I think it was maybe 18,000 or one ridiculous amount. Yeah, now the thing is, the governor listens to the man, then looks at the school authority, and those ones, the leaders in the school were like, hey, that it's outsourced and everything. And okay, so how much do you pay?
So even if it's outsourced,
so you outsourced the.
Well, how much you even pay to that
aspect
company?
But the company too, I think they're paying them 20-something thousand.
So at the end of the day,
the company will remove their admin charges.
So at the end of the day, so what you are paying to is nothing to write home about.
So they do that, right? And the governor took something by fiat. He made this pronouncement: cancel the contract, absorb these people directly, put them on a minimum wage. Now, you not even increased what they were going to earn. And that was, to me, it was like amazing. I'm like, this is beautiful. You get. But he also showed me that there are more scenarios like that.
Yes.
In
That
other
even the
tertiary institutions where
government,
certain aspects have been outsourced.
Yeah.
And people are being underpaid. And it shouldn't be happening. You know, so if we're talking about those kind of people now.
So even if you say, like in that situation, even if they say, oh, they're paying the company 100,000, and it is, even though you outsource it, what you're saying now, like you should still, it is still your job to, what's the word now? To check, to go back and really check if whatever it is you're doing, these people are also doing things that are commensurate. But like you said, you're paying someone 20 something thousand. You want them to, where is? So we'll see what everybody is doing, but at the end of the day, I just have to say, it's like all this conversation every day is really it just exhausts me. I'm sorry, it's just dampens my spirits. But my spirit is not has moved up again because we have moved on from ASUU and NASU as SSANU. Sorry for you people, but I just can't bring myself to be excited about you people. Anyway, another conversation, and I think again I say I'm so happy with what the SEC is doing right now. I think this is the first time, it's really this year, that they're you only once in a blue moon you really hear the SEC talk about some of this. You hear the SEC in the news. Yes, they're there, and I'm not saying they're not doing their job, but I like what they're doing now. They're being more upfront with a lot of information. Now, that's the security and exchange. No. Wait. Commission. Is it Security and Exchange Commission? Okay, sorry. You are correct. Security and Exchange Commission. I'm so sorry. Anyway, they have also now come out to tell Nigerians that apparently there's another company that people are investing and they are claiming that it's actually popular. Is it that? Why is it popular? How come we don't used to hear this thing before?
we don't move in those circles.
Because when you hear they say popular, I'm like, wait, I'm not so bad, and I'm not sure I'm living under a rock.
Better be glad you are. Better be glad. Do you know how much you would have lost? That's kind of thing. I
don't have such bodies for nonsense. I'm sorry, but I get what you're saying. Because I will still go back to CBEX and how much and how the amount of people that actually, even people that you knew that maybe not like they invested, but they heard about it. I'm like, until the thing went bust, you didn't even know that anything like that existed. Now the SEC is out so that people don't fall into those traps. They're now saying that another company called AfriQuantum X is another Ponzi scheme, and they claim that the company says they are an investment scheme, but it's just a Ponzi scheme, and Nigerians should not invest in it. They're saying that if you want to invest in any company at all, go to SEC's website. You can actually find out the registration status of any company of offering investment opportunities, and if they do not have it registered, then your investment is at your own risk. Please don't come out and be crying. I'm sure EFCC has a lot of work on their table.
Even if it's registered, please still don't invest if they are giving you all those quick returns on investment.
They're even saying, SEC is even saying that they will not be registered even if they're Ponzi
Dolupo, if you need to think 4 steps ahead. The instant SEC says that's a precursor to finding out, or is a parameter or yardstick to find out if someone is going to scam you, they'll start registering companies and start tying them. I'm telling you, you know how these people work. But I don't even want to dwell on that. I don't want to waste time on that. What I was going to point out is that I have a theory, and my theory is that it's the same Ponzi scheme people that just keep mutating. I have a theory that they've already, maybe like they have like a plan J. You get, they've already done.
So once this one goes bust,
A, B, C, D, E, F, EFCC.
You set up the next one.
You get EFCC, OPC, APC.
You will go to J, ICPC.
You get. I think that they've already mapped out and created like 30 something Ponzi schemes. It's the same system now. Do you understand? So that's why they're quick to mutate. I have a theory, and I think that's what they are doing, because it can't be that the guy doing CBEX just disappeared into thin air, then another person comes out of somewhere and says he's doing something new.
So there's already a plan set up.
They just know that.
So don't let them use you to to make money. That's just basically what he's saying. Have sense.
And it's the same system. The first set of people that bring money will
make money.
Returns.
Oh yeah, but that could actually also be a nice business plan. Once you start, just quickly put your money so you collect money. But at the time you hear about it, does not mean that you are the first set of people that started it. Well,
I have nothing to say.
I cannot sleep well.
Even if it's a joke, I'm not joining that joke. And please,
I'm just saying, like, when you think about
anytime
in the
furthest or the nearest future, anything you heard
about it
was how.
Oh no, wait. When you think about it,
you see the sound of our voices.
A new Ponzi scheme starts. You know that is the subsequent people that will lose money. The first set of people always make money. So why not just I'm not saying you should do it though. If you like, do it though. Yeah, on your own. And don't put money in your pocket. Anyway, a bit of a breaking news. As the Council of State, we know that the president, as the chairman of the Council of State, was presiding over that today, where he had presented a nominee for the new INEC chairman. Now it's official. The Council of State has now approved President Tinubu's nominee as Professor Joash Ojo Amokweton, SAN.
Okay, it is well. Congratulations to all of you people.
Okay. Why did you what's with the sighing? What's with the sighing?
I have nothing to say. It's not every time there is a comment to be made. Congratulations to everybody that has been appointed and that has appointed people.
Okay, this is actually very interesting. Okay, so the law professor is said to hail from Ayeto Rugbede in Ijimu local government area of Kogi State. He currently serves as a deputy vice chancellor at the University of Jos, where he's said to have spent more than 3 decades in academia and legal practice.
Okay,
that's interesting. That's actually very interesting. At least he is a lawyer. However, is it just me? But there are a lot of President Tinubu's nominations, or would I say that there seem to be a lot. Not, I won't say a lot, but a lot more than we see usually, like from the North Central.
Yeah, kind of. You can say that. The NNPC guy falls into that category. And it looks like, people are getting appointments left, right, and center. You get an appointment. You get an appointment. You get it. Everybody gets an appointment. But this INEC one, congratulations to everybody. Let us just all know that we need to have credible elections.
Exactly.
The quality of your elections that you organize speaks to the legitimacy of your government. So whether you are the incumbent, whether someone else defeats you and becomes the president, the election that you organize, speaks to the credibility of the next government.
Exactly. Now, the Federal Capital Territory has now announced that they've arrested 12 suspects linked to the killing of the ASUU staff member, I think, that died last week.
Yeah, it was last week. Very sad story. Somto Chuku. I think a lot of people call Asomi maybe like a nickname or something. And it was said that there were several stories about how she passed. But the bottom line is that sadly she's dead. She's gone. And I've seen videos of her full of life at a party and all of that. And even on the beat, And it was said that some armed robbers actually attacked the building where she was living. and some said that she was attacked by the armed robbers. Some people said that she panicked and jumped from a high rise or a top building, and some said that she had been shot and she was rushed to an hospital, and the hospital refused to treat her. Funny enough, when someone wrote that story, someone claimed to live in that house, said that's not what happened. You get, some people actually praised the hospital that they went to and said that they did a good job. The bottom line, is that a life has been cut short.
2 people, sadly, there was a security guard, she and a security guard that passed on. I would say that as sad as it is, I hope that these suspects are brought to book quickly, and because whether you like it or not, even though someone has died, the justice at times even helps closure for the family, that at least somebody paid for this horrible thing that has happened. So just wanted to put that there. Now let's do a bit of politics, and let's move on from that. As former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has now put out a statement also pushing for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. So I think this was yesterday evening where he made the statement, and he's saying that he was joining Omoyele Sowore to talk about the immediate release or prosecution in line with due process of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And I was kind of taken aback because I'm like, okay, you two, and I get, and you know why, and I think you had also talked about it, why I would think I would maybe agree a little bit with someone like a Omoyele Sowore is that I remember you when it was what's this other person in Finland? Ekpa Simon Ekpa got arrested and he got the conviction and all that. Like, why is it taking so long in Nigeria to, this thing is dragging? So really and truly, if you're going to convict him and let's move on. If he's going to be released, he's going to be released. I don't agree with the fact that, this person should be released or he should be pardoned. No, let's not do that, which I think that a lot of governors and a lot of southeastern politicians are doing. I don't agree with it, but I agree with the fact that if justice also means that if he's going to be convicted, let him be convicted quickly and let him start his prison sentence.
Yeah, that's important. The matter of Nnamdi Kanu is a very interesting one. And funny enough, now I feel he's being used. That's my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
One, government have kept him for too long. I agree with that. I think he should have his day in court. I've said that over and over again. I do not subscribe to letting someone who has been arrested for a reason walk. There are allegations of terrorism and other things that have been laid against him. Mm-hmm. And the best way for him to do it is to defend himself in court. So that since he believes he's innocent, he can walk. But just saying, release him to us, all of those things are wrong on every level because we have laws. So I'm not saying he's guilty, and I'm not saying he's not guilty. I'm just saying that everybody that calls for his immediate release is talking nonsense. Having said that, the government has also kept him locked up for too long without trial. Some people say he's the one that caused the delay. He did this and he did that. All right, I get that. He's done all of that. I get it. But at the end of the day, justice delayed is justice denied. So, and the reason why I said he's being used is that who would have thought Nnamdi Kanu, Atiku Abubakar?
Yeah, you'll be clamoring for.
Say, if you're not going to release him,
I was going to protest. What are you protesting? Really, what are you doing at this point?
Everybody's jumping on the Nnamdi Kanu bandwagon now. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. It looks like it was predicted that somebody would win an election if they include this or that. I don't know. But suddenly everybody's jumping on it.
Everybody seems to be jumping on it. Now, let's come down to Lagos State. And I saw, I don't know if you saw a long message by the Lagos State government. The Lagos State government has put out a very strong worded message about the issue with at the trade fair and the demolitions that are happening there. Basically, part of that message, I'm paraphrasing, is telling people, politicians, especially from the southeast regions, to mind their business.
One.
Telling them that what happened to when those demolitions happened in the southeast.
And they said nothing.
And they said nothing about it. If you think I'm lying, there's a whole statement I was mentioning their names. That before the end of that statement is now giving every single developer in that area 2 weeks to regularize their building approvals, or else there's more to come.
And this is it. These are the issues. And if you notice there, it looks like Lagos State is right on what they are doing, because most of the initial protest has changed. It's gone from they had their papers to
it's federal government that had the
it's
paper.
federal government. It's not
state. Like, start appealing. Let's have peace, temper, justice.
And if you know, you know. If you don't know, you will find out. I know that Lagos State will not be cowed or intimidated by any of these people. And again, why are we always being sentimental with the law? Mm-hmm. That when it affects certain parts of Nigeria, nobody interferes, nothing happens. But when it affects another part of Nigeria, but with a group of people, that's when you bring out all the...
No, everybody is...
the victim blaming, victim shaming. Meanwhile, now your guy, now you know do well.
It
is what it is. If you understand the law, again, too much ignorance on display. Federal government land. Okay, we're here. Situated where?
It's actually very interesting. But anyway, before we leave the issue of politics, ADC, former Labour Party governorship candidate in Lagos, Rhodes-Vivour, has now filed a formal petition to the police saying that the threats of violence issued by the Lagos chairman of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, Mustafa Adekule, known as Sego. Now, when I saw this story, I really thought that there was maybe
a direct
threat or something. But it was the same video that was made that made the DSS invite him, and the DSS released him. Now, at this point, I think that this is just catching cruise.
It's politics.
You're just catching cruise. Because I genuinely, actually, when I saw this, I'm like, okay, this Sego guy, what was he doing? Do you understand? Only for me to read the story, I'm like, you wrote a whole petition to the Commissioner of Police over a video that the DSS... What are you doing? And at times, I know that, yes, it's politics. I agree. But maybe I'm expecting a lot more intelligent discourse from people and politicians. Like, if we're going to point out the ills of, like, Lagos State or the issues that Lagos State has, can we, proper conversations? Because as developed as we think Lagos State is still miles behind that what you think it should be. So there are a lot of things that we still need to talk about. But like now, like almost 2 weeks after, now writing let's not do this.
You're writing a petition against someone that didn't even mention your name, not to talk of threatening you.
So directly. Why what's the story of there are threats against you? What? Okay. Don't let me.
But it's politics, and that's how politics works.
Don't let me say what
for a lot of people.
Before they say Dolupo is taking too much now, let me just move on. Anyway, moving on from that quickly, let's do a little bit of sports before we go. But before we go to sports, so I saw one very interesting headline. Israel's president, or what's he called, prime minister, has now called. You know that this week there's a lot of announcements of Nobel Prize winners. In physics, of peace, and there's been quite a lot of announcements. Now, Netanyahu has now said that U.S. President Donald Trump. Okay, no, it's not yet Netanyahu. Actually, Netanyahu is the Prime Minister. Isaac Herzog. Is the Isaac Herzog is Israel's president. Funny enough, is Netanyahu. Everybody hears a lot, but he has now said that he's talking about U.S. president's role in brokering agreement between Israel and Palestine, basically, and Gaza. And he's now saying that the U.S. President Donald Trump deserves a Nobel Prize, Peace Prize.
It's the worst kept secret in the world that even Donald had mentioned it a couple of times. That he actually sees it as some kind of achievement. It is. Honestly, if they finally
find
you worthy,
if they actually find,
but the way my man has been going after this thing, you think like
he's like
it's a prerequisite to enter heaven.
Let's be honest here. I saw stats today about how there are about over 67,000 people that have been killed in Gaza by Israel and all that. Now, who is at fault? Who is not at fault? Is not my business. I'm just saying that if there is someone or a group of people that can actually get these people to sit down and finally stop this onslaught, because I don't know what Gaza or Palestine is doing. It's obvious that you ain't got none. It's not happening. You don't have it. You don't. You are just killing your people. You don't have it in you. Now, but if we can get someone to broker peace in that and this thing stop, is worthy of note, yeah. But it's this campaign. I didn't know that there was a campaign. There was a campaign for the Nobel Peace Prize. I know that's the one that. It's not the first time, like you said. It's not the first time you heard about that. Okay, Daddy. If the people say they are not giving you, why are you campaigning so much? Because even actually for things like peace prize, for science and all that, for chemistry, for physics, you have to have like done like a specific thing, and because it's science, literature, you have specific stuff. But for peace, it's very, I won't call it vague. It's very what's the word now? I'm trying to look for a word that it's not tangible. Yes, it's intangible, almost like that. Yeah. So the campaign for it is the one that shout out to people in the other states. Yeah, y'all will be fine. Y'all should be getting ready for your president's 80th birthday, though. It's gonna be a whole country's celebration. You can't take it that way. Anyway, quietly, like I said before we go, let's do a bit of sports. First is first. Our flying eagles, they not flying. In fact, they don't leave the floor. I'm sorry, but
it's the rain now.
They don't even leave the floor.
It's the rain.
Are you sure they were eagles at all?
It's the
because
rain.
Looks like this was cheeky behavior.
You know when a bird gets beaten by the rain, the
eagles though are not affected by the rain.
This eagle was affected. This particular eagle.
You might wonder why we're saying the flying eagles at the Under 20 World Cup
in Chile.
They were thrashed.
1, 2,
they were
3, 4.
Washed.
4-0. He paid me.
Very painful.
It paid me. They paid.
I'm laughing because I don't want. It's paining me, but I don't want to say it.
That thing can pain.
If it's 1-0, yes, they've already beat you. Even 2-0, but for 4-4, we could not even return one. We could not even return one. It's very painful.
That thing can pain.
I will not even lie. It's very, very painful.
It's painful. She was painful.
I paid you. I very paid. Was it the last night? Yes, it was yesterday video. As you were watching it, somebody was watching it yesterday. Just turn it off after he got to 4. I'm not watching it. The person just turned it off. I'm not watching again.
I wonder why that person would do such a thing.
I don't understand.
Maybe he was trying to save electricity.
Very, very painful.
Or she was trying to save
very,
electricity.
very painful. I don't even lie. That would pay me. Because the truth is, I say it on this place. The only set of Nigerian team that I don't follow is the Super Eagles because I cannot have high blood pressure. I'm a very young girl. Those ones.
But they're in camp now.
They are set out to give you high blood pressure.
They're going to defeat Lesotho.
Funny enough.
In Lesotho.
I'm not saying that they should not do. In fact, I said it here. It's not even for the World Cup. To even redeem themselves a little bit, even if they will not go to World Cup, I feel that they need to win these 2 matches. Because even if they win these 2 matches now, it's to be doing fasting and prayer that everybody else loses their match. It's not a good place, but it bad as it bad. At least give yourself a fighting chance. That's the way it is. But good luck to the Super Eagles. Another team that I also wanted to talk about is the Nigerian women's basketball team, D Tigress. They've now been drawn alongside host France, Germany, Korea, Colombia, and the Philippines.
Spiritual wickedness in high places.
For the 2026
Why
FIBA
France
Women's Basketball World Cup qualifying tournament.
Why France?
Why?
Now?
France, Germany, Korea, Colombia.
Why Germany now?
It's not good though. It's not good.
If you don't want us to go to FIBA World Cup, well, just say it.
Isn't this what happens when... See, that's the problem with when you attain some things. Yeah? You know, if the Kuku did not even do well at Afro basket or something, we don't get to this point.
But so they should have lost out.
Well, at this point.
Okay, so this is it. These girls they've done it before. I have a feeling that they will do it again.
Yeah.
They've done it at this stage. They've done it at this level. Now, this is what I'm expecting from the National Sports Commission and the Basketball Federation. Your girls went far and got accolades from the president.
Yep.
They got $100,000 equivalent in Naira. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that money has been paid. Hopefully. So, you can't go from that.
I know now. You should have a good showing, this. Because it means that you're the best in Africa.
So what you need now is a good plan. You know, no more having those girls fly on their own money to camp. No more.
Oh, they've earned it. They definitely have earned it.
No more all those, nonsense arrangement that you guys make for the team. If you actually prepare them very well, they can come out of these qualifiers and make it to the FIBA World Cup. Mm-hmm. It's very possible.
Yeah. So, I wanted to talk about this particular one before we finally go. Again, Nigerians in some certain places be embarrassing you. I know this happens all over the world, though, but because I'm a Nigerian, it's the one that is my own country that I will talk about. A particular Nigerian man in the name of Onora Solomon Chibueze from Anambra State has now been sent back to Nigeria from India. Now, number one, he was deported for alleged drug trafficking. It was when he was arrested, they now realized that he has even been overstaying in the country for nearly a decade.
Wow.
Why are you people like this? Why? It's bad enough that you're already overstaying. You are now committing crime on top of your crime. Why?
All right. As Wari Pikin talk that year, he say, not take it because a water board near and take fire play for filling station. No. Can I explain that? You know that the fire service is close to the filling station. You're now playing with fire in the filling station. Before fire service people go come,
God, you will have
you go down born. Bros, you don't take 10 years. You don't get one person country. You still it's okay, Sha. It's okay.
They are trying to turn you back to. They will drop you in Murtala Mohammed.
It's okay. You do well. And you know the funny thing is, I was looking at some stats recently, and I think India has the fastest growing economy at the moment in the world. You know, so why don't you look at opportunities in that place for legitimate business?
Yeah, I get your point.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
India can be like China to you. You can look for chance or things to do. You know, import, export. Now this drugs, now this crime,
Anyway, on that note, that is all we'll take today on the bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. At 3 p.m. West African time. To have a nice day, people. Because at this point.